Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube series relating to Python basics. So here I will be teaching the full Python course from very basics. So let me give you an introduction about myself. My name is Tamanna Sharma. I am an IT educator and technology um, professional, and I'm passionate about teaching innovation and smart technology. I specialize in Python, IoT, machine learning, robotics, and cloud computing. And I enjoy helping students to understand technology through real world projects like smart home automation, IoT simulations, and AI based learning tools. And in this series, we will be doing all those projects. So let's talk about this session. So today we are starting Python from absolute zero. No prior experience, no coding required. By the end of this series, you will not just see code, you will actually understand how it works. So this session is designed for beginners. We are not going to memorize anything. We will understand concepts using real life examples. So my goal is simple. You should be able to read and write basic Python code today. So why students struggle? Most students struggle not because Python is hard, but because they are taught too much theory without clarity. So today I will simplify everything so it actually makes, sense. My teaching style is simple. First I'll explain the concept, then I'll show the example, and then you will try. Because coding is not learned by watching, it's learned by doing. Now let's understand what is Python. So Python is a programming language, but think of it as giving instructions to a computer in simple English. So that's why it's one of the best languages for beginners. So let's see our first line of code. So I am using PyCharm to execute Python code. So I have also added a video on YouTube about how to install PyCharm and Python. So you can go through that video and see how to install the PyCharm. So this is the first line of code that is relating to Python. So this line tells the computer to display something on the screen. So coding is just giving clear instructions. So print hello. Print is a keyword. So here it will it will write print on the screen like. So let's break it down. So the word print is a function in Python. So functions are like little machines that do a specific task. So the print function's task is to show or print something on the screen. The parentheses, these are used to send information to the function. So whatever we put inside the parentheses is called an argument. So in this case, the argument is the word we want to display. The quotation marks. Inside the parentheses, we put hello in a quotation mark. So the quotation marks tells the Python that this is a text, also called a string. So if we forget the quotations, Python will get confused and give an error. So when we execute this, we will get here the output as hello. It will show hello. So this is called the output. So the print function is the first step to learning Python. Why? Because it helps us to see the results, debug the programs, and interact with the users. So you can try printing, your name. So the Python will display your name on the screen. So remember, this print function is used to show information. Quotations are used for text and parentheses hold the text we want to display. So it's simple, but it's the first building block of Python programming. Now you might wonder, why do we need this print function in real life? So well, print helps Python talk to us. For example, greeting users. Imagine you open a game or an app. So the first thing it shows you is a message like welcome whatever your name is, right? So this message is shown using print in Python. Just like print hello, it will print hello. The program use it to greet users. Next example can be if you are using a calculator program made in Python and you type 2 plus 3, the program will show you the result is 5. So the output is displayed using the print function. Without print, we wouldn't see the answers. Next example can be relating to debugging and learning. So even professional programmers use print to check what's happening in their program. For example, if a program is not giving the right answer, they print values step by step to find the problem. So print is not just for saying hello. In real life, it's used to talk to users, show results, and help the programmers to understand what the program is doing. So next time you see a message on a screen, remember, like somewhere behind the scenes, Python might be using print, to show it. Now that we know how to print something on a screen, let's learn about variables. So variables are one of the most important concepts in programming. A variable is like a storage box in your program. It holds a value so you can use it later. In Python, we create a variable by giving it a name and assigning a value. So think of variables like contacts saved on your phone. So you give a name to each contact like mom or dad and store the number. So later, whenever you need it, you can quickly access it. So variables work in same way for data in your program. Let's understand this with the real life example. So here we stored a string Arisha in the variable name and number 7 in the variable age. So using print we can display them anytime. So name and age, these are variable names, is equals to, this is the assignment operator which gives the value to the variable. Arisha and 7, these are the values stored. Now, why variables are important? So variables helps us to organize, manage and reuse data efficiently. Without variables, we would have to type the same value over and over again. In real life, variables are used everywhere. Storing user details in a game, saving scores in a quiz app, keeping track of your bank account balance in a program. So when you execute this, you will see the output whatever we have printed, name and age. So remember, variables are like digital containers that keep your data safe and ready to use whenever your program needs it. After learning about variables, the next important concept is data types. So data types tell Python what kind of data we are working with. So it knows how to store and use it. So a data type is like a label on a container. It tells Python what kind of value is inside a variable, whether it's a number, text, or a collection of values. So there are common data types like integers. These are like whole numbers without decimals. For example, in previous example we did age is equals to 7. So Python knows this is a number, so it can do math with it. Next are strings. So these are text values that are enclosed in quotations. For example, name is equals to Arisha, right? So strings can store words, sentences, or even numbers as text. Next are lists. So lists are like boxes that can hold multiple items. For example, here apple, fruits. In fruits we have apple, banana, mango. So you can store many value in one variable and access them easily. So think of data types like containers in your kitchen. Int, a jar for counting items like 7 apples. String, a label on a jar with name like sugar. And list, a basket holding multiple fruits. Each container type helps you organize things efficiently. Let's understand this with the help of an example. So we have age is equals to 7, name is equals to Arisha. So 7, this is an integer as I told you. So these are whole numbers, without decimals. So Python knows this is a number. So we need to tell Python, right? So that's why name is equals to Arisha. So these are text value string, enclosed in quotations. So strings can store words, sentences, or even numbers as text. Then fruits, this is a list, right? These are boxes that can hold multiple items: apple, mango, banana, right? So as I told, like think of data types like a containers in your kitchen. Integer, a jar of counting items like 7 apples. String, a label on a jar with a name like sugar. List, a basket holding multiple fruits. So each container type helps you organize things efficiently. Now why it is important? As you can see the execution here, it gives us whatever we have printed, right? We asked to print name, age, or fruits, right? So data types helps the Python to understand your data and know what operations can be done. For example, you can add numbers, but you can't add two strings like Arisha plus 7. You can't do that without conversion. So remember, data types are the labels that tell Python how to handle your data. Choosing the right data type is the key, to writing correct and efficient form of programs. So far we have learned how to print messages and use variables to store data. But what if we want our program to interact with the user? So that's where taking input comes in. In Python, the input function allows us to get data from the user while the program is running. So this makes the program dynamic instead of just showing fixed messages. So think of a program like a friendly robot. If you ask the robot what is your name, it can answer based on the input you give. So without input, the robot would only say the same thing every time. Let's understand this with the help of an example. So enter your name. This is the prompt that asks the user for input. Name is equals to input. So the value typed by the user is stored in the variable name. Print hello plus name plus exclamation sign. So the program greets the user dynamically using the input. So input here is a function, built-in function, right? Built-in function means we don't have to explain to Python what input means. We will just write this keyword input and it will go for uh, asking the input during the output part, right? So if the user types Arisha, the output will be hello Arisha. So let's check the output here. So it is saying to enter your name, right? So here in the output section I am entering the name. So this is what input function means during output section you are writing you are getting some output. You need to proceed with the some input here, entering input. So here if I press enter, it will say hello Arisha likewise. So taking input makes programs interactive, flexible, and fun. You can create quizzes, games, calculators, or any program that changes based on what the user provides. Remember, input from users is always used, or stored as a string. If you want numbers, you need to convert it using int or float. Now that we know how to take input from users, the next step is to make decisions in our programs. So decision making lets program choose what to do based on certain conditions. In Python, decision making is done using if, elif, and else statement. So these statements helps your program to react differently depending on the situations. So think of decision making like crossing a traffic signal. If the light is green, go. If the light is yellow, slow down. If the light is red, stop. So just like you make decisions based on the traffic light, the programs make decisions based on the conditions we give them. Let's understand this with the help of an example. So age is equals to int input. So we take the user's age as an input, and we have given the data type as integer. If age is greater than equals to 18, it checks the condition. If it is true, it executes the next line. Else, if the condition is false, it executes this line instead. So if the user types 20, the output will be you are eligible to vote. If the user types 15, the output will be you are not eligible to vote yet. So let's execute it. Let's say it's saying to enter the age. So let's say I'm entering 15. So it will say you are not eligible to vote yet. And if I execute it once again, and if I type here 26 and press enter, it will say you are eligible to vote. So decision making helps, or it makes the program smart and interactive. Without it, programs would do the same thing every time, no matter the input. Now, so here we will be moving forward with a project that combines all the 5 concepts: print, variables, data types, input, and decision making. I will give you, here a project code, and I will be explaining you step by step. So the name of project is Simple Quiz Program. So here a program that asks the user for their name and age, then quizzes them, with the simple, I would say, question. Based on their answer, it gives the feedback and displays a personalized message. So this project uses print to show messages, variables to store name, age, and answers, data types, strings, integers, input to get user responses, and decision making to check answers and give results. So first, let's understand this Python code. So here we have print welcome to fun quiz. So here what is happening? So it will show a welcome message on the screen. So then we have variables: name, that stores the usernames; age, that stores the user's age. Name is equals to string str, age is equals to integer int, answer as an integer, and capital as an string. So using input here, we are getting the name, age, and answers from the users. So we are also using if condition for decision making. So it checks the age to customize greeting. We are using if age is less than 5, print you are very young for this quiz, but let's try anyway. If age is less than equals to 12, perfect, this quiz is just for you. Otherwise, print even adults can enjoy this quiz. So for every if, there will be one else, right? And within if, you can have an elif. So if, elif, and else, these are keywords. Python already know the meaning of this, right? So this is nested, if. Then again, we are using print here. Right, we are adding a question number 1: what is 2 plus 3? So answer integer, it should be in integer, so answer is a variable, data type should be integer. Input means this is a function that we want user to enter during output. So what it will be? Your answer. What will be the answer, right? So here we are also telling the computer, like if answer is equals to 5, print correct, well done, plus the name of the user. Also write the name. Else print oops, the correct answer is 5. Likewise, same you can add the question. Let's say question number 2: what is the capital of Canada? Input your answer. So capital dot lower Ottawa. So dot lower here we are using, why? Because if the user types in small letters or capital letters, it will not take like that, because it's a case insensitive language. So that's why we have already given it. So either the user type in small letters or capital letters. If the answer is Ottawa, it will go for, right? So it will give the answer correct, you know your geography, otherwise it will give this answer, right? And thanks for playing plus name. See you next time. So here this is dot lower means ignoring the case here, right? And the concept that we used are print, variables, data type, input, and decision making. Print for displaying the messages, questions, and results. Variables for storing user info, answer, and age. Data type string for text, info, and numbers. Input taking user's name, age, and quiz answers. And decision making responding dynamically to age and answers. So you can add more questions, use more variables, or even make it a scoring system to practice more concepts. So let's execute it and check the output. So it is asking to enter your name. Let's say I am entering the name as Arisha, and enter your age. Let's say I am saying 23. So it say, hello Arisha, let's start the quiz. Great, even adults can enjoy this quiz. What is 2 plus 3? It is 5. What is the capital of Canada? So let's say I'm writing Ottawa. So it's say, correct, you know your geography. Thanks for playing. See you next time. So you might wonder, why do we learn all these concepts and combine them into a small quiz? So let's see how this applies in real life. So just like our quiz program, real apps and websites interact with users. For example, online quizzes or educational websites, games asking your name and age, survey apps, collecting I would say answers. So all of these use print, displaying messages, input, getting user data, variables, storing info, and decision making, responding to answers. So notice here how our program responded differently based on age. So that's how apps personalize, experience for each user. For instance, kids get simplified content, adults get advanced content. So this makes software smarter and more user friendly. So decision making in programming mimics real life choices like traffic lights, choosing what to eat based on ingredients, selecting movies based on your preferences. Programs that make smart choices uses the same logic. So even a small Python project like our quiz is a mini version of real world software. It shows how computers store data like variables, ask questions with the help of input, respond smartly with the help of a decision making, and display results with the help of a print. So these are the exact concepts behind most interactive programs you use every day. So if you ever play a game, fill out a survey online, or use an educational app, remember it's basically a bigger, fancier version of the quiz we just built. And that's a wrap for today's Python learned lesson. So we learned how to print messages using print, store and use data with variables, understand different data types like string, integers and list, taking input from users to make our programs interactive, using decision making with if, elif and else to make programs smart. So we also combined all these concepts into a fun mini quiz project, uh, you know showing how Python, I would say, interact with users just like real world apps and games. So if you enjoyed this lesson and want to learn more Python projects step by step, make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. And also comment below with the project you want to try next. I'll make sure to guide you through it. And if you want the full code for this, you can just comment code, but I appreciate if you will write this code by yourself, right, by understanding all the concepts that we studied. So yeah, thank you for watching, and remember, keep coding, keep experimenting and keep having fun with Python. See you in the next video.